What it do? Welcome to Club 32, the Gridiron Podcast, the People's Podcast, where we keep it real, no fluff, no filters. I'm your host, Ron, and I came back to recap the matchup between the Broncos and the Bills. Broncos winning in overtime, 33-30. We're going to dive into it, but before we do, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so that you can stay in the loop with Club 32. Let's go. Jumping right into it. Turnovers were a story of the whole game. Buffalo finished with 5 giveaways, and Allen had 4 by himself. You cannot give that ball away that many times to the other team and expect to win, especially in the postseason. Come on, Mr. Allen. I'm sorry for you. We got to clean that up for sure. See, the thing is, Denver won with less offense. The Bills put up 449 yards, but nearly 41 minutes of possession. Denver cashed in on key moments in short fields, took advantage of that, and won the game. Bodnick's proven that he can come out here and trade punches with the best of them. Everything went the way that no one expected it to go. But we saw it happen, and it happened. He threw for 279 yards, 3 touchdowns. Josh Allen was explosive and self-destructive at the same time. Still threw for 283 and 3 touchdowns. Had a few big rushing plays in there, but all the turnovers, that was the difference in this AFC favorite, and it was just another brutal exit for the Buffalo Bills. It was really a sad thing to see. You would have really thought that this was more of Buffalo's moment, their time to shine and take advantage of being in this position in the playoffs, and they weren't able to. Buffalo's run game was real, though. Denver still, they still live with it. James Cook, 117 rushing yards, kept Buffalo on schedule. But the giveaways kept resetting the scoreboard pressure all night. They could not sustain to be able to put themselves ahead, to be in the position that they needed to be able to win games here. The red zone efficiency, it separated both teams. Buffalo went 3 for 5 in the red zone. Denver went 1 for 4. Yet Denver still won because the turnovers flipped the unexpected points. Protecting the ball matters in these situations. Denver's defense, it bent, but it owned the leverage on certain snaps. The overtime Jaquan McMillan interception is the signature play. And a reminder that one mistake ends seasons in a lot of rounds, just like a lot of teams can turn their offseason over, their team around in one offseason, I meant to say. You never know. It's that type of league that we all love that excites us. The Broncos receiving group, they answered the moment. Marvin Mims Jr. led Denver with 93 yards and a touchdown, giving Nix an always open type of option when he really needed it and tried to start the heat up. That's his, I guess that's his A.J. Brown, if you will, except he catches the ball. But Buffalo's playoff frustration, it isn't about talent, honestly. And it's more about the margins that they just can't separate. When you converting 10 or 15 third downs and you're still losing, it screams you have a lot of situational errors, not that you can't move the ball. And, unfortunately, because of that, Denver advances, but the cost could be enormous, honestly. Unfortunately, enormous to Buffalo. We've seen Sean McDermott get let go. Bo Nix now has a broken ankle moving forward, putting Stidham in the position to try to lead this team to the Super Bowl, which I don't know how likely it is, but Sean Payton believes in him, and if he does, then we'll see what that belief is all about come Sunday. But for now, that's the case as it may be. We hope for better games moving forward. I feel it right to at least take a minute and highlight some of the performances and stats throughout the game. Just a quick run through, nothing too extensive. Total yards to the game, you got Buffalo 449, Denver at 349 yards per play. Buffalo averaging 5.8 to Denver's 5.1. Third down efficiency, Buffalo had 10 of 15, like we spoke of, to Denver's 8 of 16. Okay. And in the red zone, Buffalo went 3 of 5 and Denver 1 of 4. They did everything to win the game and everything to lose it at the same time. It was a tough one. And a tough ending to it all. And Buffalo had 5 turnovers to Denver's 1. Also dominated in time possession. 40 minutes, 58 seconds to Denver, 29 minutes and 18 seconds. And a few standouts throughout the game. Of course, we're still going to give the flowers to Josh Allen, even though the ending wasn't what he wanted it to be. And emotions ran high at the end of this one, of course, but still, nonetheless, 283 passing, 3 touchdowns, and then 2 interceptions. And then he had a good amount of rushing yards to go along with that. The production was there. He just needed to be more careful when it came to the turnovers. James Cook, again, another person that showed up. 24 carries for 117 yards. The run game traveled and did what it was supposed to do, which is usually the playoff cheat code, but in this case, it wasn't enough to get them to the final level. And Dalton Kincaid, 6 catches for 83 yards in the touchdown. Reliable, moving the chains, was able to do what he needed to do in the game that seemed like they needed somebody like him to show up. And he was able to do just that. They just really shot themselves in the foot a lot the whole game. And on the other side of the ball, Bo Nix, 279 for 3 touchdowns and 1 interception. He had 12 carries, running the ball himself. It was very much a dual threat of back and forth, and it could be a rivalry, maybe it isn't. I'm not sure. We'll see, but it wouldn't be a bad one to have, looking at how these two quarterbacks battle it out with each other. Marvin Mims Jr., 8 catches, 93 yards in the touchdown. That was Denver's really primary explosive receiver. He got a lot of volume, going 8 for 8, catching everything that came his way. And of course, who else but the guy that took it home? Lutz, short game-winning field goal, took it, put it where it needed to be, and ultimately allowed them to go home with the victory, but unfortunately at the cost of Nick's injury, and we wish him all the best. We wish him a speedy recovery. Condolences. Well, I won't say condolences, but thoughts and prayers are out to you and the Knicks family and the Bronco organization. And just as a player, person to person, we wish you well and wish you a speedy recovery. And we'll be rooting for you on this side of the world. So jumping straight into it, honestly, Buffalo came in looking like more the complete team, honestly, if you ask me. I thought they were a lot more complete on offense, and they played that way for a lot of the game, most of the stretches, I would say. 449 yards. I mean, you can't take that away. They had strong third down control. The run game was there. I mean, they were able to keep Denver from being able to dictate the tempo. Nonetheless, am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. But, the game just for some reason kept snapping back into Denver's favor. I mean, we had a lot of sudden change momentums. I mean, for sure. I mean, you can't keep giving the ball away like that. You cannot. And honestly, that was one of the major parts of the game. Why they keep giving the ball away, man? You know what I mean? Look, all these back-breaking plays that they had. Look, by the time it reached overtime, it felt less like a who's moving the ball type of game and more like who's going to blink last. I mean, it was tight. It got there. And you know who blinked? Buffalo blinked. That's who blinked. For Denver, the win is franchise defining. I would say this is great for Bo Nix. This is excellent. But it comes with a brutal consequence. And I'm not going to say consequence. Sacrifice, if you will. Had to sacrifice the anchor of Bo Nix. And in this season, in these type of injuries, they force an immediate identity shift heading into the AFC Championship game with now Jarrett Stidham taking the helm of things. Okay? We'll have to see how the Broncos will be able to fare in this situation. The Broncos defense has proven it can create momentum-altering plays. So the path forward becomes protect the football, lean on the run defense, and, try to shorten that game up. But for Buffalo, nonetheless, as we know, they're out of there. The offseason conversation is simple yet painful. The window is open-ish, I guess. The roster is good enough-ish. but the playoff formula has to become cleaner. And I issue it because if it was, it would have been done. Like, it would have got done. Like, there's no. But look, nonetheless, even when they dominate, possess the game, had a yardage, the turnovers can erase everything in one night. So keep the ball, protect the ball. You have to do that because if you don't, then you will end up like the Buffalo. They seem to like to do that. Since the 90s, they like to win enough but never win anything. I don't understand. Hopefully they can get it all together. But for me, that has been another one in the books from Club 32. Look, whether you cheered or you choked past week or your team out or they in or how you feel, I just come to break it down the best way I know how. We try to keep it real, raw, no fluff, no filters. I want to thank you for coming through and rocking out with Club 32, where fans just come and talk about the game, and you can come and do the same. And if you want to get on the show, just email us at club32gp@gmail.com, subject line Club 32 guest. Make sure you follow us at Club 32 GP on all social platforms, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Stay connected with the club for all of our NFL breakdowns and for your chance to be a guest on the show and represent your squad the way that they're meant to be represented. Until next time, it's been real. And good luck with your team, because we're going to talk about them too. Appreciate you. Be safe. I'm out.